Hey everyone, today I'm going to review the best affordable places to live in the US. As more people are detaching themselves from that traditional work environment where you are chained to your desk at your office and you now have the option of compromising on your hiring package so that it includes things like telework, we've had a lot of discussions about where to live that is affordable. So there are a lot of cities where people are moving. You can see here there are some top cities all over America because now we have places where it's much more affordable to live and you can choose affordability combined with access to your job and, of course, the things you like most. I, for example, am someone who loves outdoor activities, but I'm not a big fan of things like car camping, where you drive out to a campsite and park your vehicle and live out of your car. I prefer, staying in a hotel, but then planning multi-day hikes or what have you, especially around mountain areas. But of course, I have a partner who absolutely loves the beach. That is where they find solace when things get stressful. So, with those things in mind, we've been looking at different places that you can move with most affordability and, of course, access to those things that are important to you. Now, down here in Florida, you can see here that the average home value is going to be around 403,000 is what we're seeing for 2025. Now, if you are someone who likes the good weather with Florida, then that's going to be something to consider. It is an affordable city. It's where a lot of people are moving, and it has a lot of comfort that you might want as in terms of commercial comforts. So what I have found, at least in the villages, is you get that sense of community and that good weather year round with access to the same shopping centers and things that might be most important to you. So those are certainly some places to consider down here: Gulfport, the Villages, and Somerville. These are all coastal areas if you really like that warmth and that humidity. Now, if that's not really your jam, you might head over here. St. George is one of my favorite places. Now, home values are going to be a bit more expensive there, but it's still a top contender where people are moving. You have places along the the West Coast and the East Coast that are equally popular with, of course, varying weather options and out of state versus in-state prices. So you have small cities where people are trying to move today, small cities that you don't think of immediately when you consider a big move, right? You think of things like San Francisco or New York, and yet it's these small cities that make all the difference. We live, for example, just a couple of hours outside a major city. That makes it possible to get all the benefits of being near a major city without living in a major city or paying major city prices. It's a big difference in terms of taxes. So you can see there are a lot of cities where people are moving in and out. So these are some of the fastest growing cities in every state. So over here we have Johnson City, Tennessee. Now this is a beautiful city. If you don't know, it's nestled in the foothills. So you're not directly in the Appalachians where, you might need to hike with a gun, as one friend who came from West Virginia told me, but you are near enough to hiking trails, to biking, to fishing, to a lot of lakes and other outdoor activities. Similarly, you have places in Idaho that are a wonderful opportunity for outdoor activities, for, that nice, cozy sort of community that isn't something as structured as the villages in Florida. And then, of course, places like Hickory, where you can enjoy more of that robust sort of farmer's market feel, right? Hickory in North Carolina. I have a friend who just moved there with her family, and she is loving it because of access to, simple pleasures, as she put it. That calm, sort of tranquil life where you have beautiful walking paths, you have access to affordable prices for everything, a lot of outdoor activities, small farmers markets, local businesses, art shows, things of that nature. So you have a lot of areas where people are moving. Cheyenne is still one of them, even though it has dropped a bit. Wyoming is one of those places where you can still buy a large swath of land, and with that, you can live that sort of very popularized Yellowstone lifestyle today. Now, where you go is, of course, based on things like home prices. So if you're looking for absolute affordable home prices, you're going to be over here in Ohio. That's where prices are great. But we do have a family that just moved out of our community to Ohio, specifically for lower prices and to be closer to family. Now, obviously, you have different options along the East Coast for affordability. We have options throughout areas like Gulfport, Illinois, Oklahoma, Michigan, Kansas. Now, these are, as you can see here, pretty affordable home values. So that really comes down to what it is, again, you want to prioritize in terms of your price. So let's see what it might cost if you were to move to any of these areas. I'm going to pick some of my favorites up and coming for environment. So Kansas City, Kansas is one of those places that I've popped to. You see very affordable home prices here. And whenever I've gone to these areas, I've been struck by the culture you see there. It almost looks like Austin. Driving through, you had similar downtown feels, lots of access to local community organizations and support, good cafes, bookstores, things of that nature. Now you can see a lot of people are leaving California, so I'm going to use that as my point of reference. Let's say we're in California and we want to move somewhere else. So looking at mid-sized locations, shifting toward the middle of America, if you're looking for family values and a lot of supportive community, or shifting toward the East Coast for a lot more access to kind of tranquil outdoor activities. So I'm going to use Move Buddha's calculator over here so I can see just what it might cost to leave all of these areas. So we're going to say that we're going from California. And let's start with Hickory. As I mentioned, Hickory has that nice feel, outdoor activities without being demanding outdoor activities, as it were. You still have a lot of things like indoor climbing gyms, which I love, things that you can access seasonally. And we're going to say that we're moving at the beginning of November. So looking here, you can see that the cost for a 3-bedroom home, right? Spouse and kids, pretty established family, isn't that much. Freight shipping, where you load it and they drive, is less than $4,000. Professional, all included, isn't going to be a significant jump. That high-end price of just under $4,000 for freight, it's just over $7,000 for an all-inclusive move. So we have Hickory over here with an average of around $2,300 up to $7,300, and that's for professional services versus you load everything yourself. All right, well, now let's say we're not moving to Hickory. Maybe we want to move to Kansas City because we like Kansas City, Kansas, to be clear. We like that sort of community feel, that younger vibe, a lot of, downtown street art and fun local bookstores. So you can see here that prices for professional movers are a little bit cheaper, but not substantially so as compared to moving all the way to Hickory, even though North Carolina is a bit farther. Freight shipping, you're still looking at upwards of maybe $3,000, but you can get that freight shipping rate down to under $2,000 if you're moving your whole house to Kansas City. And as you saw with those Kansas City rates, the prices for a house are under $200,000. So there's going to be a lot of give and take here in terms of what it is you prioritize, but you see great affordability. So I would consider Kansas City and Kansas, as well as Hickory, North Carolina, some of the best places to move this year. Now let's go up to Cheyenne. I know that Cheyenne has seen a slight drop, but it's still a great place to live, especially if you want those more demanding outdoor activities. Access to good skiing. You're only a few hours away from, let's say you want to go down to Park City, but you don't want to pay Park City prices, and who can blame you? Then you could easily move to Cheyenne and still have access to a lot of great outdoor activities nearby. And you can see here that cost from California to Cheyenne is pretty much the same as what you would expect to pay with Kansas City. You're looking at freight shipping at this point down to, let's say, $1,500. And then you're going up to that comprehensive professional service at about 6,500. And moving from California to Kansas City was only about 6,600 maximum for that full service start to finish move. Pretty affordable all in. Now let's head over here to Youngstown, Ohio, where we have those super cheap prices on houses, an average price of around $67,000. I don't know anywhere else in the US that has home rates that low. Here you see freight shipping from California all the way to Ohio is actually going to be a little bit more than moving to Cheyenne or Kansas City. You're looking at around $2,300 minimum if you're doing it yourself and they are driving it to your new location. But if you're doing that professional all-in service, you might be looking at around $7,400. And that is about the same affordability as compared to moving from California to Hickory, North Carolina. So you're seeing pretty similar rates all across these best affordable places to live in the US. And as we're doing this, I just absolutely love this tool, right? I can sit here and compare all of these locations, and I want to look at Johnson City, Tennessee. This makes it so simple for me without having to put in my data, like my phone number or my email, to look at the cost of moving to all of these best affordable places. So if I'm not sure where it is we want to move, I can look at these prices. Johnson City, Tennessee over here, which to me is a stunning little place, completely tucked away. Most people don't really think much about Tennessee and its access to so many outdoor activities without compromising that community feel. But that's exactly what you get. And your freight shipping, you can see here, you're looking at around $2,100 for that bare minimum. You load it, they drive it. But that comprehensive service, you're looking at $7,500 maximum for a 3-bedroom house. And that $7,500 over here for that professional, that's not much different than moving to Hickory or moving to Ohio. So there are a lot of great places to live. You can use these moving calculators to calculate it based on state, based on this move from one state to another. Based on the boxes you might need as well to get a little bit more information. But you can see here that some of the best affordable places are going to be those top cities that are tucked away. And that's really what it is you prioritize in terms of your move. Youngstown, Ohio, you're looking here with home values very low. So if you're looking to purchase a home and you want something you can buy maybe in cash or something you can pay off within a few years, not 30 years, this is going to be a great place to consider. With pretty affordable moving rates, especially if you are doing it yourself, you can get that rate around $2,500 on average. Kansas City, Kansas is going to be another option to consider. Home values under $200,000 here. Pretty impressive with that nice family feel. And of course, a moving rate that if you're going from California might be less than $2,000. So we're looking at a lot of great options here. People are moving in and out all over, but you see people coming into Tennessee, you see people going into North Carolina, Idaho, all of those places that we looked at here. But in my mind, some of the best affordable places are going to be Johnson City, Tennessee, Hickory, North Carolina, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Youngstown, Ohio, and Kansas City, Kansas, in terms of your access, your low cost of living, housing prices, and of course, the cost of moving from places like California to those states.